as a person, I'm very concerned about our impact on other life forms that are inhabiting this planet together with us. And I just can't be, blind to what's happening. I'm very, concerned about deforestation or acidification in the oceans or plastic pollution in the oceans. So the human artifact has reached, points on the planet that it has never reached before. Like, for instance, a plastic bottle just ends up in, for instance, in a marine bird's digestive tract. Or again, polar bears, like they haven't done anything to be losing their habitat, right? So these things I find very compelling to think about. We have 3 major new works, and it's a very ambitious exhibition. On the entrance floor in the cathedral space, we have 2 pieces. One of them is called the Global Warming Hot Yoga Studio, which is basically a platform where you can practice yoga, but I designed it so that there is a sign that reads global warming and the heat comes from that sign. And the other thing was that I saw this kind of cognitive dissonance in the yoga culture where the culture dictates us to focus on ourselves, to focus on our bodies, to forget about everything else, to inhale. People practice veganism because they don't want to harm animals, but they'll drive these big SUVs to the yoga studio. How about that? How about the carbon emissions that your car is doing?
So soak it up. Bring your attention to your breath. Notice the air as it enters your body. Notice every single molecule as it comes into contact with your alveoli. Notice the persistent organic compounds polluting the air from your neighborhood incendiaries. Notice the carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide from fossil fuel emissions filling up the air. Taste it. Take it in.
Another piece is called the KTII. So it's a video piece, a video installation where we're basically listening to a animated kitten who is telling us about how artificial intelligence and governance kind of converge in year 2039. I had the idea that, again, looking at animal intelligence, animal emotional intelligence, and I was thinking about my cat, which is very an emotional, who's a very emotional cat, knows when I'm sad, knows when I'm happy. I wanted this cat to talk about our common future. I wanted this cat to talk about artificial intelligence or, how governance or politics could be shaped once AI capable of running big systems are at play.
My grandmother, who is human, conceived the idea of me. Not that she was a huge fan of William Gibson, whose digital prophecies involved a global computer network where almost any piece of information imaginable was potentially available to any person who knew how to navigate.
That one is upside down. But I need to. I've been studying art and neuroscience, so I have a certificate in the neurosciences. But I have a scientific background from before that as well. I studied organic chemistry, and then I did, architecture. Then I went back to computer science. So I had this back and forth or the zigzag career between art and science or art and technology or design and technology, because I never actually studied art, but yeah. I'm drawn to, the young organism itself, the embryonic development. This is just very interesting to me, just looking at these images. So the visual language of modern science feeds into my work. That's, very important for me. But I think you could still create awareness as a scientist. I think everybody could create a certain type of awareness. For instance, I've designed almost a decade ago now, I've designed genitalia, and I've designed organisms with excessive amounts of genitalia, right, to kind of push people out of their comfort zone about gender and sexuality. But then I have also these designer babies, which are basically proposals on how to revamp the human genome, like how to think about the future of the human being, right? Now that we can change the DNA, how is that going to affect the future of, humans? On the third floor, I designed the floor so that we have two intersecting shelves. So one is about how advancements in the biotech might affect the definition of human. The other one is representing species that have been derived from the human, that are affected by, anthropogenic impact on the environment. So I see these as near future problems, and with my practice, I'm trying to kind of contribute to a new culture which can address these problems in better ways. Because in my humble opinion, we have failed to address or to kind of see these problems with, for instance, cultures like consumerism. So that's what I'm trying to do with the work.